Everyone. Welcome to our first virtual boardroom session for this year. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Appreciate it. For those who don't know me, my name is Stephanie. I'm the sales executive at Business Events Victoria. Hang on a second, that's Wendy. And joining us today from the BEV team, we have Adeline Kay, who is the Executive Officer, and Simon, who is our Business Development Manager. Both of them are in the office today. And also our presenters for today, I'd like to introduce you to Claudia Baranski from Business Events Geelong and Jackie Trimby from City of Greater Bendigo. And also joining Jackie today is Terry, also from City of Greater Bendigo. Terry is the big boss over there. A warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for your support. So today we'll begin with we'll be exploring the unique offerings of these two distinct regions, Geelong and the Bellarine, and also Bendigo. So a quick housekeeping. Please ensure your mics are muted. During the presentations, raise your hand in the chat room or put your question in there for the presenters to answer later. Please note that the session will also be recorded and we will email the recording with the presentations after the session. Before we begin, I would also like to give you an overview of Business Events Victoria to those who are new to us. We are your convention bureau partner for regional Victoria. We offer a range of free services. We are a free resource in your event planning. Our services include, location and venue sourcing, program assistance, coordinating personal site visits, and also provide bid assistance for national association conferences. So my colleague Simon, he's the guru in that. He's an expert. Reach out to him if if you need any help with association conferences. We also facilitate the request for proposals, and that's where we work with our partners, the destination partners, and also the venue partners. We connect you with them. We connect you with the tour operators, regional tourism bureaus, and local councils for additional support. So essentially, we are free. So just use us as much as you like. We handle the legwork for you. Without further delay, I'll pass the virtual floor to our presenter, Claudia Baranski from Business Events Geelong. Claudia will talk everything about Geelong. Over to you, Claude.
Thanks, Steph, and hi, everyone. Really great to be here today. Thank you to Bev for having us here and giving us the opportunity to give everybody an update on Geelong, or for those that you don't know about the region, to teach you something that you don't necessarily know. I do know a few faces, well, not faces, I can see your initials, but I know some of you there. So good to see you again, and great to meet some new people as well. Just going to share my presentation now, and hopefully that works. Just let me know if you're seeing any technical issues on your end. But otherwise, I'll assume that it's just going fine. What I'll do, I'm going to start off my presentation just with a quick video of the region. It just gives you a really wonderful snapshot of all the different areas that Geelong and the Bellarine encompass, and all of the capabilities that we have here to make event programs truly memorable and truly distinguished from other regions across Victoria and Australia.
Forget what you know about Geelong and the Bellarine and join me as we discover some of the very best venues the region has to offer. Geelong has outgrown its awkward teenage years and emerged a hub of design, innovation, culture and cuisine. And of course, events. From waterfront spaces to a large-scale stadium, picturesque wineries to boutique retreats, Victoria's second largest city has the right venue for you. What makes the Geelong and Bellarine so remarkable, you may ask? Let's tick them off, shall we? Easy access, stunning natural assets, incredible infrastructure, and all the support and resources you need to create an unforgettable event. It's time to discover something new, something fresh. So what are you waiting for? Meet in Geelong and the Bellarine. You'll be inspired and you'll be surprised by what you might find.
Okay, so that just gives you a really good overview of what we're all about down here in Geelong and the Bellarine. Just as Steph said before with Business Events Victoria, we are the Convention Bureau for the Geelong and the Bellarine region. So the services we offer are sourcing requests for proposals. We're really here to connect you with all of the product, all of the suppliers, all the venues within the region to really bring your program together and make sure that the right product is what you're using for your event. If you're considering multiple destinations across Victoria or the country, then we can work with you to provide tailored bid documents and put all of that information together for you. We regularly host regional famils. If you're looking at the region specifically for events and have specific requirements, we'll also put together day site inspections and work with you and the venues to make sure that you're truly seeing the product that is right. Once you're here in the region having your event, we're also here to provide a number of delegate support options, whether it be lanyards or conference bags and visitor information. And we also do offer sponsorship for events in kind and financial forms as well, depending on the event and eligibility criteria. In terms of getting to Geelong, for those that many of you know, we're easy 1 hour out of Melbourne. So whether it's jumping on the car, heading down the freeway, you can hop on a ferry at Docklands and be in central Geelong on our waterfront right behind me here in just over an hour. And this is a really unique way to bring delegates into the region. You can obviously put everybody on a bus. Tullamarine Airport is an easy 1 hour drive, but we also have Avalon Airport on our doorstep, which is 20 minutes into our CBD, and that receives flights daily from a number of Australian domestic hubs. So as you saw from the video, we really do have a little bit of everything in the region. We're largely situated on the coastline of Corio Bay, which is behind me and where central Geelong sits, and that extends all the way down the Bellarine Peninsula. So we've got mountains, we've got coastline, we've got countryside, and we also have urban experiences as well. I may have said this already, I can't remember, but we are Victoria's second largest city outside of Melbourne. We've got 40 plus venues within the region that are set up purposefully to host events, and they can do anything, up to 2,000, but in excess of that as well. We've got more than 3,000 beds, accommodation beds in the region, and that number is steadily growing. We had a couple of big new hotels open up last year. We've got at least 3 more slated to open up in the next 3 years. And again, really diverse array of experiences. So we've broken it down just to give you a little snapshot with food and wine, nature and wildlife, and then, some more exciting activities for the thrill seekers, for team building, and just really to get people out of a conference room. In terms of food and wine, most of you have probably heard of some of the produce that comes from the region. We do have some great food and wine offerings that also bundle up into an experience as well. So the Q Train is one of our really big hero food and wine experiences and attractions in the region. It's a vintage railway train that travels along the Bellarine coastline and serves a degustation menu over a 3-hour period. All the food is locally sourced, and it's something that's really integrated into the whole journey. So you're basically traveling through the coast and the countryside, as where your food has come from. And I can speak from experience as I did it just last week. It's actually really amazing. So if you are coming down and you want to try it out, just let me know. Jack Rabbit is a really well-known winery in our region, sits on the beautiful Swan Bay and has beautiful views out to Melbourne, really wonderful wines and a couple of different dining options there for groups and large or small. Little Creatures, most of you have heard of Little Creatures Brewery. It's in central Geelong in a really old heritage listed wool mill building. This is a great option. It's walking distance from most of our conferencing venues. So for that casual welcome drinks or just something that a little bit more urban, then this is a really good offering as well. Plenty of nature and wildlife to share around with everyone. We've got Indigenous cultural experiences. If you have groups, especially with internationals that are looking for that connectivity, we've got Werribee Open Range Zoo within our region as well. Not only is this a great place for team building activities, but they also have a really great events offering for off-site dinners and different programs like that. And then for those that really want to experience a coastline, we've got a wonderful dolphin swim operator in the region. We've got a big pot of dolphins that make their home just off the Bellarine coastline there. So this is something that is really wonderful for groups just wanting to get them out and experience a little bit of the region that they're conferencing in. All of the product that we talk about can be scaled. So if it's 10 people for an executive retreat or if it's 300 people for a conference, everything that we offer and that we represent work really closely within the business event space and understand, the expectations and the requirements of the business traveller as opposed to just the leisure traveller. Really great mix of venues and accommodation in the region too. So if it's more heritage executive retreat style, we have places like the Lansmore Mansion Hotel in Werribee. We have the Lon Retreat and Spa in Point Lonsdale. And, obviously most of Australia knows that the Geelong Cats are the beating heart of this town. So it's only fitting that they have a state-of-the-art facility to call home. And I guess the offshoot of that is we're very lucky because we have a state-of-the-art facility to host really amazing conferencing programs. It is a really wonderful space that can conference up to 2,500 people. They've recently just finally opened their new stand, which has opened up a whole new host of different event capabilities as well, in addition to some really good conferencing space. So for team building or just getting everybody out of the hotel, we've got another train experience, a blues train. We've got plenty of great golfing experiences on the region with 5 of Australia's top 100 golf courses in the Geelong and the Bellarine. And then if you really want to take advantage of the coastline, then there are a load of different helicopter operators that will do trips down to the 12 Apostles or, all over really. Then a few more we've got some more accommodation options. As I mentioned, we had a couple of big hotels open last year. So in addition to the Novotel Geelong and Ridges, we had a brand new Holiday Inn open, which added another 200 beds to our room stock, plus a brand new Quest Central Apartment Hotel, which is their high-end brand. They opened up in the same vicinity. And then in the next couple of years, we have a Crown Plaza Hotel with just over 200 rooms opening and a 5-star hotel down on the waterfront as well. So we're certainly boosting our capabilities there in terms of being able to accommodate across a really wide cross-section of accommodation. So especially for those bigger association groups that may require all different levels, we can certainly accommodate all of that. The Arts Centre just reopened last year after a multi-million-dollar redevelopment. This is actually right in the precinct, 5-minute walk from a number of our accommodation providers. They can accommodate up to 1,400 packs now for a conferencing event with multiple options for breakouts as well. And being in central Geelong, it means that you are walking distance, 1 to accommodation, 2 to any other off-site activities, dinners, plenty of different options like that. And then the thing that we're really looking forward to at the moment in terms of infrastructure and is the industry is abuzz thanks to them doing such a wonderful job at AIM is our new convention centre. So Niall Bunyul is going to be opening in 2026, and this is really going to transform the whole landscape of events for us, which is why we need all that new accommodation, all those hotels, because we will be able to host conferences under one roof for 1,000 packs. The Crown Plaza Hotel that I mentioned will be part of this precinct, as will a number of different retail and food outlets. It's going to have plenary space, exhibition space, all on our waterfront. And I guess the beauty of regional Victoria and any destinations that you talk to, we're all low density. So you really don't lose your delegates catching trams here or there. Like, everybody is really central. So this is going to be a wonderful asset for us. I'm going to hit play. I'll finish just with a little video which just gives you a fly through. And then that's pretty much an update and an overview of our region. So I'll just hit play on this now. You don't need to see it again. So thanks so much, guys. That's it from me and Geelong and the Bellarine. Would love to see you in Geelong sometime soon. I'll definitely send out, my information. So any questions you have about anything that I've spoken about today, I'm more than happy to elaborate on. And enjoy the presentation from Bendigo. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Claude. If you have any questions for Claudia, we will take them after the next presentation. Now, I'd like to introduce Jackie, and Jackie can take over and talk about Bendigo. Thanks, Jackie.
Well, look, in the meantime, if anybody has any questions for Geelong and they want to pop it in the chat, please do.
I was going to say that.
Happy to answer anything, but also if there was anything that anyone's particularly interested in, put that in the chat too, and I'll make sure that I send you information about that. If you want to watch the convention centre video again, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, while waiting for Jackie to come back on. If you have any, questions for Claudia, any questions regarding the new convention centre, put it out there.
Wendy, I'm excited that you're coming to Geelong for a retreat in a few weeks. You'll have to try and pop in and say hi.
Can you hear me, Claudia?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that you existed. Otherwise, I would have come down and got you to show me around some of the different venues. We have a retreat that we do every year with our staff, and this year we're coming down to Cryo Bay, but the last couple of years we've been up in Macedon Ranges, so we try to move around a little bit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's why I'm on this webinar today, to see what might be out there for next year.
How many people come to your retreat?
We only have 20,
Yep.
between 20 and 25 this year. Yeah, I think we'll only have 20 staff. So we're staying at Eden Oak.
Oh,
this year.
wonderful.
Yeah. So
Well, if
yeah,
you want,
different.
let me know. I'll reach out to you after this, because there's a few things that I can provide you from a visitor perspective that you might want to give them on arrival. We've got some delegate bags. We've also got lanyards that have like an interactive map that they can scan a QR code and then access special deals for delegates in the region.
Excellent.
So
Yep,
might
that'd
be
be
like a
great.
discount coffee somewhere or a cocktail or something like that. So yeah, we can connect after this and I can provide you with that info, and then when you get into Geelong we can drop them off, or you could come and pick them up, or whatever you want.
Yeah, I always come down the night before
yeah, excellent.
our delegates arrive. So yeah, that would be great. I would like to connect with you after this. I do have a couple of questions about some local businesses trying to find some ideas for our dinner. So
okay,
yeah.
Perfect. Well, we can definitely help with that. Steph's sent out a list with contact details, so I can shoot you an email as soon as we're done.
Yeah, great. Excellent. Thank you.
Wonderful.
All right, Jackie's back. You're still muted, Jackie.
It did happen to me earlier, remember, at the beginning of the meeting. And I wasn't sure what the cause of that was, but it seems to fix itself.
Just jumping in clouds, there was a question, I think, from Linda, who was asking about when the new convention centre is taking place, taking bookings.
Oh, so at the moment they are planning to open up in September for going on sale, basically. So they'll open their calendars and be taking bookings from September. That's the current plan. Certainly check in with me, Linda, and let you know if there's any updates. I'll let you know. But yeah, September at the moment.
Wonderful. Does anyone have anything else for Claudia in the meantime? Or we're all good? Perfect. So now, Jackie, you're back online.
Hello. Apologies. We had some technical issues, but we believe we have resolved them. So thank you for your patience.
That's all right. Well, over to you, Jackie and Terry.
Thank you. I'll share our presentation. So I'm going to pass over to Terry, who will run through some information about Greater Bendigo.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you, Stephanie and Adeline and the business events team, and of course to all of the people that are joining this presentation this morning. We're grateful to have the opportunity to be in your virtual presence. It's important that we acknowledge that Greater Bendigo is on Dja Dja Wurrung and Taungurung country, and I want to pay my respects to elders past, present and future. And I'll just go over some fast facts about our wonderful city. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the great attractions and things that you can do when you are in our city. And I guess the most important thing is that we see that Greater Bendigo is a thriving regional city with rich gold rush history. We have stunning streetscapes, beautiful architecture, and an established reputation as a hub for arts and culture, food and wine, and various cultural and sporting events. And you did see some of our venues earlier in that video presentation. This is something that we're very, very, very proud of. We are indeed Australia's first city and region of gastronomy, and we were lucky enough to be awarded that designation into the UNESCO Creative Cities Network in 2019, which recognises our region's diverse food culture, our community's commitment to local, sustainable delicious and creative produce. And not only are we home to 7 McDonald's stores, no, it's a beautiful region for all things food and culture, and we certainly encourage you to come and visit for more than just the fact that we are the city and region of gastronomy, the first in Australia to, as I said earlier. So we are indeed the geographical centre of Victoria. Not a lot of people are aware of that, but that is a fact, and we are not actually far from the geographical centre. We are sitting in this magnificent new building that continues to have some issues with technology. We support a population of around 121,000 people and a regional population of close to 240,000 people. We're located less than 2 hours from the Melbourne CBD by train. It's a 90-minute drive from Melbourne Airport, and Sydney travellers can fly direct to Bendigo Airport on Qantas Link. And we are indeed the 4th largest inland city in Australia and the 4th most populated city in Victoria. So there's some fast facts about Greater Bendigo. I talked about transportation links and how easy it is to get to us. And I just want to go now and talk a little bit more about the city and region of gastronomy, where a little bit of misconception about what that actually means. I'd encourage you to go onto our website and just have a closer look at what came together, the process of applying for and ultimately being awarded this prestigious designation. It's more than just, you can find somewhere nice to eat in Bendigo and you can get a good cup of coffee. It's really a designation that recognises our region's diverse food culture and our community's commitment, as I say, to sustainable and delicious creative produce. We see it as a really unique point of difference for our city and region, and I think most of us like to eat food at least 2 or 3 times a day. We can certainly assure you that the offering in Greater Bendigo and the gastronomy region is an outstanding one. Always good to know some of the exciting things you can do when you are in our city and region for your conferencing needs. And some of the things we want to talk to you about are, the Central Deborah Gold Mine. It is, in fact, the deepest working underground gold mine in Australia. I think it's 1.6 kilometres underground, so it's a fair distance. Not for the faint-hearted and those that suffer from claustrophobia, like me. I tried to go underground once and didn't quite make it, but I'm assured it's a very unique experience and one that, conference delegates pre and post conference, when you're in our market, would certainly love to go and experience. The Bendigo Art Gallery. I travel around an awful lot in my role, which I'm very grateful for, and I have to say that wherever I am in Victoria or other parts of Australia, I say, look, I'm from the City of Greater Bendigo. Nearly everyone says, oh my gosh, the Bendigo Art Gallery. And it's certainly earned its reputation as one of the finest regional galleries in Australia. Some of the most recent exhibitions there that you might be familiar with, the Elvis Presley Direct from Graceland, which attracted 226,000 visitors. Prior to that, we had the Marilyn Monroe exhibition. We've done the Tudors to Windsor's British Royal Family portrait exhibition series, and a host of others that have really driven and helped cement our claim as one of the hubs of arts and culture in regional Australia. We're also home to the oldest working pottery in Australia, in the Bendigo Pottery. This place is really exciting, steeped in history and heritage, and some of the images on the screen there tell the story where you can actually go along and make your own piece of pottery under the supervision of the skilled potters there. A truly unique experience, as I say, for pre and post conference delegates. Heritage trams. You'll see these daily running through the main arterial road of Bendigo. Pall Mall, obviously, the precinct there. We are very, very, very proud that this city saw fit to retain the heritage trams. it's a terrific attraction piece and a really unique experience where you can learn lots about our city as you're travelling on the trams with the in-tram commentary that accompanies your journey. We're also home to the Golden Dragon Museum. This is an interesting place on world standards. It is the home of the oldest and also the longest processional dragons in the world, in fact. The image on the centre of your screen is a dragon that is known as Lung. So he is the oldest processional dragon. And to the right, you've got an image of our new dragon, who's known as Dai Gum Lung, which means big gold mountain, and helps really underpin and celebrate the rich Chinese history and culture that sits in our community. The Golden Dragon Museum is also home of some of the rarest Chinese artefacts in the world. I'll talk to you now a little bit about the Great Stupa of Universal Compassion, which you clearly see on the screen there. This is the largest Buddhist temple in the Western world, sitting here about 10 minutes away from where Jackie and I are sitting in this beautiful GovHub building. This is an absolute stunning attraction, one that you really must go to see. Well, even if you're not here for conferencing, make a day trip, make a week, or stay around coming to see the Great Stupa of Universal Compassion. This project has been in development now for a few decades, led by a private family, the Green family, who donated 50 acres of their own land many years ago so that this stupa could come to fruition and realisation and be one of the great attractions that it is today. Obviously, when you're travelling around, it's important to keep hydrated. And one of the great ways to stay hydrated in Greater Bendigo and the region is, of course, to experience one of the many wineries and cellar doors that we proudly call, or that proudly call Bendigo their home. So Bendigo wine growers and the Heathcote wine growers are very famous for their product, particularly red wine, but some of the new varietals now that are coming out of both of those camps are very exciting. There's, lots and lots and lots of wineries and great experiences to have, in around pre and post conference, or even, as I say, just a short stay, come and experience some of these amazing culinary delights that we have in Greater Bendigo.
Thanks, Terry.
Alrighty, I'll ask Jackie now to talk about some of the venues. We don't have time to talk about all of the great venues, but certainly some of them. And then Jackie will round out our presentation to you this morning.
Thanks, Terry. So I wanted to start with showcasing a couple of our larger venues, starting with the Bendigo Events and Exhibition Complex. This is one of regional Victoria's largest event spaces, offering 2 indoor complexes and a large arena. The indoor spaces with over 11,000 square metres of space, and is home to some of our larger events, including the Australian Sheep and Wool Show. We've got Meatstock coming up next weekend, which is a new event to Bendigo. It's been the traditional home for Groove in the Moo Festival, which unfortunately is not coming this year. So crowds of up to 17,000 people, and is used for a lot of conferences, shows and larger scale expos. The next one I wanted to run through was Red Energy Arena, which is essentially one of the biggest sporting stadiums in regional Victoria.
Absolutely, yep. In fact, regional Australia. And we're very, very proud of Red Energy Arena. Not only hosts to significant sporting events, but is a really adaptable venue for conferencing, shows, expos, as you can see by the imagery on the screen there. Where those beautiful table settings are by day, you could be watching the Australian Boomers play Korea in an international basketball friendly like we had last week, and then transform into a beautiful conferencing and function space.
And the other beautiful indoor-outdoor venue that we have is the Bendigo Racecourse, set amongst beautiful lush greenery, manicured gardens, has a huge capability not only to host events outdoors, including their race meets and events like Red Hot Summer Tour. They also have a number of different indoor spaces that can be very functional for conferencing and events. A few of our more traditional conferencing venues, Lakeside Hotel Bendigo, which is venue and accommodation overlooking Lake Waruna. The All Seasons Resort Bendigo, another larger venue with multiple spaces across the venue for plenary and breakout. And the Juliana Arena is a smaller scale, more boutique venue and accommodation facility. So now on to some of our more unique conferencing venues, starting with Alhambra Theatre, which has a 1,000-seat auditorium. Do you want to talk more to the history?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So this is the old Sandhurst Jail, as it was once known, decommissioned in the mid-1990s as a jail. Had some very famous guests over the years, including Mark Brandon Chopper Reed, one of the more famous ones, Jackie. So a collaboration between state government, the City of Greater Bendigo, and also the Education Department. We received some funding to the tune of $36 million, and we were able to transform the jail into a beautiful functioning 1,000-seat capacity performing arts centre. And as Jackie said, has multiple internal rooms and spaces that are very easily adapted, and is one of the more sought after venues for conferencing that we have in Greater Bendigo. Interesting fact about Alhambra Theatre, as it's known, is that the gallows in the old jail are still in place and still working. So that could be used as an advantage to some people, Stephanie, perhaps.
Going on to another one of our beautiful historic buildings is the Bendigo Town Hall, which again is a beautiful example of the historical architecture of the town and can seat up to 200 people. And then there's the Capitol Theatre with a 480-seat auditorium and multiple breakout spaces. And Terry's leaving us now, so thank you, Terry.
Look, yeah, sorry, folks, I do have to get going on to my next meeting. Sorry to cut across you there, Jackie, but Stefan, Adeline and Simon and Co. Business Events and all the people on the screen, thanks for the opportunity today. Jackie will lead you through the remainder of our presentation, and we do hope that you come to visit sometime and also arrange to share some conferencing with us in one of these many beautiful facilities. Claudia, we promise we won't pinch everything from Geelong as long as you don't pinch everything from us.
Thanks, Terry. So I'll just continue on with some of the smaller venues in our heritage buildings that are great for smaller conferencing and also dinners, pre-conferencing receptions, etc. So we'll start with Mackenzie Quarters. As you can see, it's the beautiful heritage architecture, and then inside upstairs in the hall can be configured for seated or standing for conferencing, dinners, cocktail events. You'll see on the screen Fortuna Villa, very similar. It's a great example of our beautiful architecture, and it's something unique to offer delegates in terms of a conference dinner, stand-up reception, etc. Chateau Doré and the Boardwalk are another couple of great examples of smaller venues for group dining. And then if you're looking for a smaller scale conferencing facility, I've popped in there the Bendigo RSL Club and the Bendigo Regional Tennis Centre can be great options for those, along with the Discovery Centre in Bendigo. So that is that is the end of the PowerPoint presentation. I did have a slide in there on areas that we can help, which I may not have saved. So things that we can help delegates and conference organisers with include visitor accommodation through our visitor centre, the creation of conference landing pages. Again, through our visitor centre, we can create a unique URL for your conference where delegates can jump on and book accommodation, visitor experience, that type of thing, all in the one link. Other areas that we support events with, more expos and shows, anything around logistics with traffic management, permits, anything that sits around that. And also similar to what Claudia was talking to earlier, we do look at how we can support some events with venue hire and financially as well. That is the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for Jackie? Yeah. Well, thanks. Sorry. Thanks, Jackie. Well, they say a location, can make an event. So choice of location can really elevate the experience, whether it's conference, seminar, or corporate gathering. So the settings play a crucial role in setting the tone and the atmosphere. Jackie, can you talk a little bit more about, the group activity at the Gold Mine and also the Tram restaurant, if they do groups at all?
Yeah, they do. They can coordinate tour groups depending on delegate numbers, of course, but they can coordinate to the whole tour and experience for you, or you can come through us and the visitor centre can coordinate that for the conference as well.
How many people in the group would they take to visit the Gold Mine, the Central Deborah Gold Mine?
Steph, I'm going to have to get back to you with that answer because I don't actually know.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, let me get back to you on that.
Because that's a really good experience for groups.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Linda has a question for Jackie. So how far out of town is the Alhambra Theatre?
It's in town. So the Alhambra Theatre sits at the back of Rosalind Park, which is the park that you can see there in the centre of town. You literally walk through that park up to Alhambra Theatre.
Wonderful. Any more questions? For Claudia, if you have any questions that you want to raise for Claudia, please shoot across. Otherwise, we will conclude the session very soon. So both Business Events Geelong and City of Greater Bendigo, they offer free services, and they are your go-to expert, and they can provide advice on where to hold your events in their region. And I would like to thank you once again for your support and appreciate your trust in us as your preferred service providers and supporting our venue and destination partners in regional Victoria. And with that, we'll bring the session to a close. Once again, thank you so much for your time, and we'll share the presentations after the session. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you.